Drew, we don't normally talk before the intro of the show.
But we thought it only necessary to take a sec to reveal our new intro here on this week's episode.
Finally.
Enjoy. All right, welcome into another episode of the Lowdown Sports Show. I'm your host, Drew,
I'm BJ.
and we're here to get the lowdown on all things basketball.
Wasn't that
Ba-
worth the wait, Drew?
it was like that new intro, ladies and gentlemen. That's that new stuff. We like
Love it.
new. Got that new. Got another guest-filled episode, if you will, this week, bringing on some friends of the show, some longtime W fans and longtime uh, podcasters themselves. And before we introduce them, we want to make sure we show some love to our partners out there, T Public Fanatics and SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. Use code The Lowdown in all caps for $20 off your first order. And BJ,
Yes.
this episode is presented by StatHead, and you get to present our stat of the episode.
That's right, Drew. And going to shift gears, we're going to talk a little NBA. This will be the only time that we talk NBA in today's episode. But, it was a phenomenal year for the Sacramento. Yeah, it was a year. It was a phenomenal year for the Sacramento Kings. They had a season-high 7-game winning streak back in November of this year. And going through StatHead's Streak Finder, you were able to find that streak of 7 wins in a row for the Kings in November 2022 was their longest since January of 2005 when they won 6. They have only had 3 winning streaks. Well, I guess you could say 4 winning streaks longer since the 99-2000 season. So
Man,
seven wins in a row was pretty impressive for the Kings. That's one of their longest in the last 20 plus years, Drew.
the Kings are good again.
Yeah,
We'll see if it
it's
lasts.
gonna be fun to watch. I'll tell you that when we get to next season for them.
Yes, indeed. What else is going to be fun to watch is this episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching us live, you can see these beautiful faces now on the screen. We've got half of W Nation in the building, Mr. Kyle Haywood and Logan Jones from WNBA Nation. Welcome in, fellas. How y'all doing?
Hey, appreciate you having us on, guys. We've been we're fans of yours, and so we're fans of the WNBA. We're also fans of the Lowdown, so we're excited to be on the show today.
Appreciate you guys being able to join us here. We know right around the corner from WNBA All-Star Weekend, guys. And when I met you guys, it was at WNBA All-Star Weekend. I ran into you in 2019 in Vegas, of all places. Probably the only time I'll be in Vegas. I couldn't afford to be in Vegas, but I was there anyway. I was just like, I got to go to W All-Star. And then, boom, I'm sitting right beside the W Nation crew at the All-Star game. Man.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's funny as we were talking about coming onto this episode. And Logan and I were talking. I was like, actually, I think it was All-Star that we like kind of met Drew in person,
Right.
like it's one of those we interact on Twitter a bunch, but when you meet in person, it's kind of like, oh, like sweet. It's always good to get an in-person meeting going.
For sure. And Logan had a very brief tenure at the lead for a little bit, but still minor connections everywhere, right?
That's right. That was in my say yes to everything all the time phase. And then I got immediately after that, I got like a full-time job and they started working me real hours. And I was like, shoot, I have to start like I can't do just my hobbies anymore, which is a real bummer. Which is why I took a different job after that. Now I have time to do this all the time. So no, I remember I always consider All-Star Weekend fun, both because like the activities that the league has planned, but also it's kind of the unofficial like Twitter sports reunion. Like,
Right.
like it's
Yeah.
the week that we all just kind of like find our way out there. So you can like, I always find like bumping into people in Vegas happens around that time, and I'm sad that I won't be out there this week for it.
Yeah, me too, man. I wish I'd even gotten to go to the Vegas one last time. I haven't gotten to go to an All-Star game since 19, but you guys have already kind of alluded to what we're going to start talking about here, and that's the All-Star weekend experience. You guys are familiar with it hands-on, but like sitting back and when you don't get to go and like, seeing the, outside fan perspective again, like talk about y'all's experience there in 2019, and if you've been to any before that or since then, and what to expect with this weekend's All-Star weekend.
Yeah, so we actually had a little bit of an opportunity. We've been to a few different events. We've been to a couple WNBA All Stars. I think both of the ones in Vegas prior to this were we attended, and we try to make at least one or two excursions a year as a show.
Right.
And we usually try to pick either All Star or Final Four. So that's kind of like our pilgrimage, our yearly pilgrimage as a show to go hang out together. But it's great because what I like about All Star is you get a chance to interact with a lot of different fans from different fan bases. So
Right.
whether it's held in Chicago or Minnesota or Vegas, people from all across the country come in and check it out. So I like that part of it, is just interacting with so many different WNBA fans. That that's kind of my favorite take, just walking around, whether it's like the fan experience that they do, or just kind of in the halls outside the arena while the
Right.
events are taking place or the games taking place. Or in Vegas, for example, as you're walking around the casinos or on the strip, you're seeing WNBA jerseys everywhere. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite part of it, is just interacting with and hanging out with and meeting other WNBA fans.
Logan.
My favorite part might sound kind of corny, I guess, but it's like being around just a bunch of people who grew up playing and loving basketball is super fun for me. Like sometimes I get convinced that like Twitter is a good representation of reality. And so like when you see like basketball, like hot takes and arguments and conversations and stuff happening on Twitter, you kind of lose a little bit of that like feeling about there's actually this common thread that we all have in common, but like it's easy to lose that when you don't meet in person. And then when you're in an arena full of people who are there just like, oh, maybe I played in high school, maybe I played in college, or maybe it's a bunch of girls that kicked our butts at bump because they played like D1 and didn't tell us.
We got wrecked.
No matter what level, it's fun to have the commonality binding everybody together, instead of like a lot of times sports discussions just are inherently divisive. And so it's kind of fun to have it be like a wholesome time rather than the opposite.
Yeah, definitely agree with y'all there. And you get to run into some WNBA media as well. Like I met Ari in 2019 in Vegas as well, and you run into some stray players as well. Around All Star as well. I ran into I already covered the Wings even when Glory was here, but I ran into Glory Johnson at All Star in Vegas in 2019. So you never know who's going to pop up to All Star, whether it be current or former players, as well as fans from all over the world.
I remember seeing like Kobe was courtside and Rapinoe was courtside at one of the ones we went to.
We met Ruthie Hebert outside House of Blues.
Right. If you haven't,
China Robinson, we've run into just all kinds of people. Yeah.
If you haven't been to either like a Final Four or an All-Star weekend, like try to go out of your way to get to one if you can make it, because you'll just see like Kurt Miller standing in line for popcorn and like Rachel Galligan will just like walk by and you'll be like, oh, hey, like it's just, it's crazy that they're all in the same building.
Yeah.
And man, I hate to single BJ out here, but he's the only one in here that has not been to either or both.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately, but that is something I hope to change. And like you were talking about with trying to save up for a pilgrimage, that's the biggest thing.
Yep,
Is trying to make sure I've got the necessary requirement in the pocketbook before I can do that.
Oh,
We
for
got-
sure, dude. For sure.
We're gonna get you out there, BJ, and in the honor of getting you out there, we're gonna have to do a lowdown live out there for All Star
Yeah.
Weekend.
I'm down. I mean,
That would be awesome.
I don't think Vegas is ready for me, but that's a different story for a
Are
different day.
you ready for Vegas?
I have been there in the past. Yes, it was unfortunately it wasn't for All-Star Weekend. It
Vegas
was for
ruined me pretty
conference, but-
quickly, buddy. It is hotter than you think. I saw somebody posting the next week's worth of weather, and there was nothing less than 110. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
I was to say the right time to go is like April or like October when it's not it gets cold at night, but it's not burning your eyeballs out during the day.
I don't know.
Dry
You
heat.
got windstorms to contend
that's
with in
true.
October. So
that dry heat is a beast.
I don't know. I think the dry heat might be better than the humidity that we get.
I don't
down here in
know.
Texas.
I don't know, man.
let's
You
say
walk
Logan-
those Vegas streets in 110 like I did, and your phone is overheating in your pocket, and you never took it out. Man, you might rethink it because your leg is suddenly hot because your phone's overheating. 'Cause that was a crazy moment, but Vegas is definitely a very hot place. All-Star Weekend around the corner, guys. You've seen the All-Star teams, and you've seen the feel for the three-point contest. You've seen the feel for the skills challenge. Let's run through and see who you've got winning all of these things. Let's start with the first one. Well, let's start with what was most recently released today, the three-point contest. You saw the field. What do you think about the field, by the way?
I like the field. I think it's pretty solid on there. There's I mean you could see a couple others having
Serena
an
Mayberry?
opportunity. Yeah, I thought having I think Dewana Bonner would maybe be fun.
That would be fun. Yes.
Glad I'm a little bummed, on the Jewel Lloyd front.
Right.
And I think it was a coin flip between Jackie and Kelsey Plum, but obviously with this they are only trying to get one player from each team. So if you got Jewel Lloyd playing, then you got to go Sammy Whitcomb on the 3-point, So I get it. But overall strong field, really likable field. I'm pretty pumped about it. Were you asking who our pick is, or just our thoughts on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is your pick? And for anybody that doesn't know the field, we got Dejanay Carrington in Connecticut, Sabrina Ionescu in New York, Kelsey Mitchell in Indiana, Arike Ogunbowale in Dallas, Sammy Whitcomb in Seattle, as he mentioned, and Jackie Young in Vegas.
Ooh, okay. This is a tough call. I feel like Kelsey Mitchell is going to be on a mission to prove something this All-Star because she's kind of been snubbed in the past.
Right.
So I think she's probably coming into this like, I got to make the most of this weekend in case of future snubs. So I feel like on a Friday night appearance, this might be Kelsey Mitchell's time because she's not playing in the skills challenge. So this is the spotlight's all on her, and she tends to do pretty well in those clutch situations. So I'm going to go with Kelsey Mitchell.
Okay. Logan?
the smart money's probably on Jackie Young just because I think she's shooting threes the best this season in games. But the 3-point contest is sort of its own animal.
Yeah.
And it's sort of built for players that can get in that mindset of just like, I'm going to get scorching hot.
Right.
And I think that's why Arike and Sabrina are both invited because
sure.
they're both great scorers in their own right. But when they really get going, nobody can hit 10 in a row like, those players. So I'm going to pivot from Jackie Young, even though I know she's shooting like 48% this year. I think actually Arike is a really she's had games this year where she's been bad from three, frankly. She'll go out and shoot a lot of them to try to get going, and it's just not there for her. But I think she thrives in All-Star Weekend. We've seen her win an All-Star Game MVP before. Yep. I think this is the setting where it's the right kind of pressure and the right kind of like fun to competition, like for her to really thrive. So if she knocks down like 3 of that first rack and it's like, oh, she's going early. I don't like, she might not miss the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
If she's locked in, it's not going to go anywhere.
Logan's trying to get invited back, Drew.
That's my big that's my boomer bust pick though. Like she could easily be,
she could go out the first round
last.
pretty
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
BJ?
I'm glad he didn't take it. I was thinking he was going to say Sabrina Ionescu, and that was who I was going to go with. I really like what she's doing, and like Logan said, with the boomer bust, I mean, I think that when she gets locked in, I really feel like she's got a strong chance of showing out and having a great shooting performance in this 3-point challenge. So I'm going to go with Ionescu.
Man, all different picks so far. I like that. Now I don't know which way to go.
different, man. You got to go different. Is what you got to do.
Different. Now I picked her once before. I don't want to pick this person again, so I'm going to go with somebody who's a much improved 3-point shooter. Jackie Young. I'll give Jackie Young the dub in this 3-point contest. I had the person I was alluding to is Sammy Whitcomb. I had her winning before, but she did not. But Jackie's going to take it home for me. I believe in Jackie. And we'll see once that 3-point shootout comes about. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a skills challenge going on too. They're put into teams, like literally teams with their teammate, not just in team teams, but they're playing with their teammate as well. So they got 4 duos here in the skills challenge. Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum from Vegas, Alicia Gray and Cheyenne Parker from Atlanta, Sabrina Ionescu and Courtney Vandersloot from New York, and Arike and Satu from Dallas. This skills challenge, let's see, so they've got a shot rack here. They're going around some cones. We've seen skills challenge. Is there anything different about this year's skills challenge? I don't believe so, right, Logan? Just a normal skills challenge.
I think is it the one? I mean, they're going to drive through some cones. They're going to pass it through a tire. I think they've got to hit a layup. Like it's a lot of it is about speed. And we don't always talk about speed in basketball like we do in other sports, but a lot of it has to do with like speed and agility. It makes me really sad that Jewel Lloyd is injured and not a part of it because I think she'd be really good at it.
Yeah. So you get the typical stuff here with your skills challenge. You probably got to make a free throw, layup, and finish with a 3-pointer here and go around cones like Logan said. And I think I'll go ahead and start this one off and make a pick. Y'all don't have to go first. I got this. It's okay. I'm going with Team Dallas. I think if they can excel in this one, as long like they don't lose a ball or something, I think they can excel in this and win in the skills challenge with Satu and Arike. And Arike didn't win any hardware her last All-Star appearance, so she's trying to come home with something. Whether it's the 3-point title, the skills challenge, something's coming away with it. So I think Dallas is going to get this one.
I like the pick, but just to be different, just because I'm that way.
Man.
Can't make it easy on you. Why not go with the hometown team to take home the title here? I'm going to go with Team Aces with Chelsea and Kelsey taking it. Try saying that a few times fast. Kyle, you're muted. I don't think we can hear you. Don't know if that was something you're in with the browser or
should just
what?
be the button down there. Just unclick. There we go.
There we go. Yes.
I thought he did it on purpose, to be honest. I thought he was just waiting.
How many Zoom meetings have we been a part of at this point?
Right?
We got to get this.
Man, that was brutal. No, I'm having a hard time with this one because I think there's an argument to be made for all 4 of these teams. But I like where BJ went with that. I think because I didn't go with Jackie Young in the 3-point, I'm going to go with the home team with this one. I think Chelsea and Kelsey. Man, if you haven't as far as like placement of a ball, there's nobody better than Chelsea Gray at that. Kelsey Plum, probably one of the best overall, like all around athletes. She's got speed, she's got quickness and agility. I like that team. I think they're going to be the toughest out, I think, on that.
All right, Logan, who's not going to get picked in this skills challenge?
Breaks my heart because this one's so hard for me because I know I'm gonna curse whatever team I pick. I'm not gonna try to game the system. I'm gonna pick who I legitimately believe in. And even like there's already 2 votes for Vegas, and I was kind of leaning more towards a different team anyway. I think Sabrina and Courtney Vandersloot are going
Okay.
to come away from this weekend with something.
Dang.
Vandersloot is just hard to pick against in any sort of skill challenge because like she is not phased by anything that's going on at All-Star Weekend, right? Like she's a veteran.
Be a point guard herself.
Yeah.
I wish I could have said Team Dream, both because I think it's fun to say and because those are like two experienced players who've been in the league for a while now, but it's both of their first All-Star appearance, and I think that's really cool. But like, yeah, maybe Sabrina wins the 3-point challenge, and so this point is moot. But it feels like those Liberty players are going to show up to this like Vegas party and be like, just remember that we're trying to, we're coming for you. Like,
Man.
so I think they'll have a little extra mustard in all of their skills challenge efforts this weekend.
Man, Atlanta Dream left out. Now that you mention it, that's a really good sleeper pick to win the skills challenge. It is both their first All-Star appearances, and that's the one thing that they're in. Neither one of them are in the 3-point contest that Atlanta could come away with. So we'll see. Atlanta though left out from these picks. Dang, Dream. It's okay. If they
Sorry,
win,
Dream.
we're gonna look real bad in here if they win this thing. But we'll see what happens. All right, and last but not least, the official All-Star game. Do you have Team Stewart or Team Wilson?
Oof.
I'll let Kyle take that one.
Ooh.
This is a tough one. I wish that all of the Vegas players weren't on the same team.
Yeah.
Like I
100%.
I really would love to see that not be the case.
I would
But
love
right now-
next year if they let the captains pick one teammate and then they
Yeah.
can't pick any other teammates.
That's a really good idea.
Like I'm looking at as I looked at the rosters, I don't know if there's really other than who was it that I was just looking at? Dallas. Yeah, Satu and Enrique.
Mhm.
Other than Dallas, like most of the players are on the same team. Looks like you got to Indiana, I guess, Aaliyah and Kelsey. But like most of the players you're playing with your own teammates, and it's almost like they kind of split it up. So I don't know. The way that I'm looking at this, I really like the starting 5 for Team Stewart.
Ooh.
I think Joel Lloyd, Satu, Griner, Stewie, and NECA. I don't know. I think that's a big lineup. Like they're all. It's like Joel Lloyd is the guard with like 4 giant humans. Like just gonna go wreck people. So if we're going front court, if we're picking front court, that's if size matters, then Team Stewie all the way. So that's gonna be my pick.
Okay, Team
All right.
Stewie. You want to score in that, or you want to just go non-score?
Oh, dude, score on an All-Star game? Who knows, bro?
Right.
That's what I was just about to say.
138 to 128. I don't like.
I'm with it.
I don't know.
Oh man.
All
All
right.
right, Logan. I
right.
gotta hear your pick.
I feel like the All-Star game winner usually just comes down to like which team has the player, usually a guard, who comes in with like some extra juice, like something extra to prove. Because like a lot of them approach it as like, this is a week off. It's fun. After the game, we're all going to go play hearts at someone's apartment. Like, but there's always someone who's like, I'm going to go out and like, if I get going early, I'm going to try to drop 40. And I think in this matchup, there's a very good chance that player is either Enrique or Chelsea Gray, both on Team Wilson. So I'm going to go Team Wilson because I think those are the guards that are going to go out and try to put on a show.
Okay.
Yeah, for the same reason. I was thinking it was going to be that's where Enrique's going to get the hardware coming back home to Dallas, is because she's going to be named the MVP of the game, going off near 40 almost and leading Team Wilson to the victory. That was kind of my headcanon, Drew, when you said that she had something to prove and she was wanting to bring home some hardware. That's the ultimate hardware that you could bring home from All-Star Weekend this week.
Yeah.
So I'm going Team Wilson.
She did it
as well.
before, and she did it in Vegas.
Yeah.
So when
And
it
her
was them
first
against
one.
Team USA.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Well, I guess that just leaves me. I think Team Wilson has won the last 2 All-Star games.
It's
I'm gonna
true.
rock with Team Wilson, not because of that, but just because basically the same point that Logan made. You got these players, these shooters out here that are gonna be looking to get hot early, and Enrique is gonna be firing them off, and Chelsea is as well. And I just think the guard power, if they can keep firing off those threes and knock them down this game, it'll probably end up being a 138 to 120 game. I'm all for it, and I'll take
Yeah.
Team Wilson to put another score out here. Let's go 132, 127.
I like
A
it.
little bit
Do you
closer of
think?
an ending.
Do you think anybody would Would anyone change their answer if Jewel was healthy?
Yeah,
I
I-
think they
think so?
might. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Jules. Yeah, the Jewel injury is brutal.
She
for
seems
Team
like
Stewart.
someone, both because she's like leading the league in threes and because she plays on a bad team. She seems like someone who would have wanted to come in and be like, just remember, like,
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
really good.
We've seen that, right? We've seen players that
Mhm.
come in with something to prove, and I think Joel Lloyd would have that. I mean, we've seen that with Enrique. We've seen that with who else was I thinking? Recent All-Star Game MVPs. Plum.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plum's got something to prove. Those are great examples that that we that you've seen in the past. That you're 100% spot on there, Logan. That sometimes it comes down to who's got something to prove, who's the one that is looking to, because some of these players come in and they're kind of go through the motions a little bit, take it nice and chill. They're not too worried about things.
Right.
But then you have your Erica Wheelers of the world who show up and are like, I went undrafted, so this is my shot. So
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this MVP. And so, yeah.
I was looking at the betting trends, Drew. I don't know if you saw it earlier in the week. I think I was seeing Team Wilson 7+ point favorites at one point. It's down now, even without Jewel. It's down to 5.5 in favor of Team Wilson. So I'm not sure. Maybe Kyle is onto something here with this. That's
the size,
the way the
of
betting
Team
trends.
Stewie, bro.
Yeah.
Well, there's always a little bit of a Vegas bump on those numbers.
Yeah.
We're up here in Mountain West country, and every time our football team goes and plays at UNLV, they're like favored. It's like, oh, because Vegas. Okay.
That's so true.
All right. And we need to go ahead and get this one out of the way too. All-Star Game MVPs. BJ, you can break the ice.
I was just saying, I mean, when I said it earlier in part of my justification, if it's going to be, if they don't win, if the team wings and Enrique don't win on Friday night, either of the competitions, I legitimately do believe Enrique could do it again and come home with that MVP hardware in a Team Wilson victory. So I'll stick maybe with a homer pick, but I'll go with Enrique.
Enrique pick. Let me go ahead and slide in here. All-Star Game MVP. Let me get a first-time All-Star who might get fed the ball a little bit out here. All-Star Leash for All-Star Game MVP.
Okay.
Alicia Gray.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good pick.
Respect.
That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Man. Gone back and forth on this one a couple times, but I think for me, again, this player, they kind of have something to prove. I think that their team was pretty well written off, but if Kalia Copper shows up, we might, I think she's got, well, I mean, obviously all these players have the skill set, but I think she's, she is that guard spot on Team Stewart that could benefit from a lot of rebounds of her teammates. So I think Copper might be my pick.
That's okay. Shoot.
Okay, got some good picks so far.
I have already heaped too much praise probably upon Enrique and Gubwale in this episode, and I don't know if there's a more dangerous basket to put all of your eggs in the entire league. So I'm gonna stay away from that one. I think I think Chelsea Gray is my pick
Okay.
because I'm not gutsy enough to pick Plum off the bench.
Fair enough.
So I feel safe with Gray. I feel dangerous with everything else I've picked on this episode today, guys. But picking Chelsea Gray as a potential All-Star Game MVP feels like, all right, good.
That feels somewhat secure.
I thought you were gonna stay in the danger zone and just be like, you know what? It's the most
just
dangerous thing ever.
Ticket,
but
straight ticket, Enrique.
She's taking it off.
I think just the more I think about it, the more it's just like, oh boy, I probably should not. I should probably diversify this portfolio a little bit. So I'm going to take Gray, but I've kind of got an eye on Plum. Like, I don't know how many minutes she's going to get, but like if she's in there enough, I could see her doing it.
Yeah.
Right. If she's hot, she's probably going to keep playing.
Those Vegas players love playing in front of the All-Star Game Vegas crowd so much. Like, I know everybody loves to be there, but like it's their home crowd.
Yeah.
Like we saw Kayla McBride when we were there the first time go out and have a really fun game. And I think it's because like we all know we love Asia Wilson. We all know that it's her team, but like the crowd favorite player always gets a little extra.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Man, we got some good spicy picks in here. It's going to be fun to watch it play out this weekend, fellas. And all these layers are going to be playing out here on All-Star Weekend, and they have gotten a prestigious honor to be named All-Stars. And we just want to know, do you guys think anybody got snubbed? We already had one in Ryan Howard, who was initially snubbed, but she's there now. Anybody else missed the team that should have been there?
Howard was my initial pick, and I was really glad to see her get picked up. It's always hard because when you play this game, you have to, on the other side of it, also go ahead and say, well,
who doesn't
deserve to be there, and that's also a really dangerous game.
Dangerous.
That's a dangerous game to play.
I have one, but I really don't know if it's a snub because, like you said, I don't necessarily know if I know who I would remove from the current cast. But I thought Melissa Smith probably deserved like a look. Probably easier to make that argument before Indiana went and lost like 8 straight games. Yeah. But for like right out of the season, doubles left and right, and then I think she might even be hurt right now, and so it's just kind of like I'm not upset like a true snub that she's not there, but I was kind of hoping that she would be.
Yeah, especially after I agree with that. So seeing her in AU in person, knowing what type of year she was about to have, that start I thought it was going to continue, but hopefully, it'll be here. It'll be in the cards next year for sure. Let's see if did I have anybody?
Did you?
Maybe there can be. I can say there's an argument for Natasha Howard. She's had a really good year in Dallas, all across the board, and again, kind of like Logan, I don't know who I would take out in place of that. And I don't want to just pick at this person because it's their first All-Star appearance. I don't even want to say their name, but probably just I don't know if swap out for a first timer that was in there. Maybe like, okay, I'm going to say their name, Cheyenne Parker or something.
Right.
To swap out for Howard. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think Howard had a really good year, and if she'd have made it, I wouldn't have had any problems with that over like a Cheyenne Parker or somebody else that did make it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Mabry, Marina. I think I don't know if I would say snub. I don't know if I could put her over anybody who's currently in, but I think she's on that bubble for me. I think she's a border player.
It's weird to consider any of these players on teams that aren't like the superpower teams at the top of the rankings, because like if you put Smith in, that's 3 Fever players in the All-Star game.
Right.
You put Mabry in, you've got 2 Chicago players in the All-Star game. Like, and it feels like I don't feel like that team is playing like a team that has multiple All-Stars on it, but at the same time, like looking at individual stats, it's like, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you end up with, Atlanta's a happy surprise. We've got 2 of them there. Connecticut is killing it. We've got 2 of them there. Like, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
BJ?
I guess the one that came to mind that I guess you could make an argument that y'all haven't said, maybe Jordan Canada, if you're going to get a spark out there. I think she's deserving. I would have said Bree Jones before she got hurt. And that was just kind of just like a knife to the back almost, because I thought she was deserving. But I mean, really, like you said, if you're looking at who you're going to replace to get, a different player in there, it's really tough to make that argument. I think that, it's one of those that, do you value getting somebody from every team in there, or do you truly want, the best players in the league regardless of team? And I think we've got a really good set of rosters here for both teams, even with, a couple, doubles up on some of these teams and some others that were deserving but didn't quite make the cut.
I'm really glad you called out Canada. She's someone that we've talked about on our show as like being so steady and consistent that as a coach, you'd like love to have her on your team. But as like an all-star voter, you're like, well, she doesn't have like those big eruption type games where, she's the front page the next day because she went for 40. And like, I think a lot of that plays into how we consider like, oh, they're an all-star. They've had a couple monster performances this year. Canada doesn't really do that, but she also just she doesn't like not show up in any single game. Like she's going to be 15 points and like assists and just not turn the ball over.
And there's something to be said more for that stat line than a one time that you pop off like you were talking about for 35 plus.
Yeah.
And I want to give some credit to AU hoops. I mean, all these players that we've mentioned, and that's one of some first-time All-Stars were playing in AU hoops in Dallas back in February. Alicia Gray, first-time All-Star, was in AU, and Alyssa Smith, who we talked about, a healthy one, could have been an All-Star. Jordan Canada, a borderline, potential All-Star that's in the argument we brought up here. And who else? Kelsey Mitchell, first-time All-Star. I mean, and if she hadn't gotten injured before the season, we might have been saying the same thing about Izzy Harrison in Chicago. Because I mean, she would have had the spot to be displaying her talents, and she would have had a good role out there. But I think AU's been a really productive place for players. I mean, you can see Natasha Cloud, first team All Defense last year, along with her All-Star appearance, I believe. So, I mean, it's been beneficial for all the players who go over there and get that extra work. And the new league from Stewie and Fee, I think will be a cool addition to the opportunities, opportunities is a better word, for players to have the option of what they want to do in the off season. Some will choose overseas, some will choose this 3-on-3 league, some will still play in AU hoops, but all the options being available for us to see all our favorite players, as much as possible. I think it's super cool.
Agreed. I agree with you. I think I am excited about the new opportunity here.
Yes, indeed. And guys, All-Star Weekend, we've been talking all about that. But what about this season? It's been a really good season so far. The season is a little more extended than normal, 40 games. We're officially actually at the halfway point. Can you believe that All-Star break is actually the halfway point this time? And we do have another half of a season left. We won't be done until like mid-August or end of August. And it's going. We still got plenty of basketball left to go. And what are you guys expecting for this second half of the season here? You've seen Vegas really show their stuff and show how dominant they are, and we've got a couple other teams at the top who have only got a handful of losses or less. Is another team going to turn it on? A healthy Alyssa Smith coming back and a healthy Fever make the playoffs. What's going to happen? What do you guys think is going to happen in this second half?
Well, at the last time that any one of us said the Fever making the playoffs, they now have not won a game since we said that. So, not to call out anyone in particular.
Do we need a solo cam on this?
Maybe I need to pop in and say some good things about the Fever.
Also no, on that episode.
That's the problem, is we said all these good things about the Fever.
On that episode,
it's been bad.
Steve and I put all this praise on the Fever for like hanging with the good teams and their schedule being easy in the second half. And then I looked ahead and I was like, oh, they play at Phoenix tomorrow and they just hired a new coach. They're gonna probably lose that game.
The next few games after that were like new coach hires, which teams always seem to get hyped up for those new coach hires. But Indiana's struggling right now. Can we talk about Atlanta real quick?
Yes.
Hottest team in the league.
Yes.
Atlanta
Scorching, man.
is looking so good. They look like a team that deserves 3 All-Stars. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
they really are. They're playing
Yeah.
phenomenal basketball right now. I love what we're seeing out of Atlanta. I mean, they're right now, their records even with Washington, and Washington was kind of that, I think, across the board, at least on our show, we all three of us, or all four of us, put Washington at that number 3 spot preseason.
Mhm.
And so to have Washington be even now with Atlanta for that 4 or 5 spot is really intriguing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
and Atlanta's been kind of that team that couldn't figure themselves out early on in the season for a little bit. You know, we
Yeah.
didn't know which way the tide was going to turn, if they were going to, figure things out, and they really have, with railing off 6 straight prior to
Yeah.
this All-Star break.
Yeah,
So
I did not expect the Dream to be the type of team where I would look at their schedule after the All-Star break and look at every single game like they could win that game, they could win
Yeah.
that game. Like the
mhm.
tear that they're on right now, they've won 6 in a row. They've got some easy games at home after the break. They seem like what I imagined Indiana could turn into at the beginning of the year, where it was like they're young, they're raw, maybe they gel by halfway through the season, and then they're like a really dangerous first rounder for somebody. That looks like their kind of makeup. And I'm just super pumped that Ryan Howard is working out there. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's not just her. They have a lot of good pieces, but
Yeah.
she's just someone I really enjoy watching play. And that's, as soon as we started talking Fever, I was like, oh, I hope this transitions to a Mystics, or not a Mystics, a Dream discussion.
Yeah.
Because I think they are the team that we should be talking about in terms of just like a lot of future, I mean, current stars, but like a lot of the future of the league is in that locker room right now.
yes, indeed, and I love what the Dream have going out there,
Mhm.
man.
One thing I've noticed, maybe it's just me. I'd have to break it down to maybe some statistics here. Has it felt like to anybody else that there have been a lot of injuries this season? I mean, in particular, like teams like the Sparks, Washington. Like, I feel like there's been like the Sparks, I feel like half their rosters like decimated.
But
Right now. Like that's
Chicago got
been
hit early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connecticut suffered their annual heartbreaking injury.
They get one every year.
But
huh?
even on top of that, it has been. I mean, there's just, it feels like every day you get a Twitter notification that someone signed on a hardship contract.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which,
and
I mean, good for those players, but
Yeah, and Diamond DeShields and Lou Lopez still out for Dallas. I mean, there's and Ari McDonald's been out for like a month or so for Atlanta. That's been hurting my fantasy team. But yeah, I mean, speaking of these injuries, it has crippled my fantasy team actually, because picks 4, 5, and 6 were players that have been hurt this year. Izzy, who's out for the year, Ari McDonald, who's been out for a month, and Azare Stevens, who started off the first few couple weeks at least, on the injury list. So I was down in the dumps. I started 0-5, but we're making our comeback. But we're not talking about fantasy today. I could go on about my struggles and how I'm going to come back and win the league back to back.
And he
But I
will.
won't do it.
He will. Don't tempt him. He will.
You're right. He will win back to back. That's right. You said it right. You said it right. But what I will do first, ladies and gentlemen, is talk about our people out at T Public and Fanatics. Gonna let you guys know that you need to shop with our partners really quick. T Public, it's time to get that wardrobe updated for summer. There's still time if you haven't done it yet. There's still a little bit of time in the summer to get it updated. There's no sale going on. Boo hoo, but you can go take advantage of the free shipping. $80 plus, you get free shipping on your order at T Public. Use the link in our description and get your fit right for the summertime.
That's right, Drew. And if you want to shop for that All-Star Game merchandise, why don't you check out our friends over at Fanatics? They have got a 65% off site-wide sale, 48-hour sale that is still going on, but it's only got a few hours left. If you're watching live, you've still got time to get in on the sale. But if you're not watching live after the fact, I know Fanatics is very good about having other deals throughout the weekend. So make sure you go over and check out fanatics.com for officially licensed everything. If you want to get some late MLB All-Star Game merchandise, that was earlier this week, and you can still get that apparel as well. And hey, football season will be here before you know it. And I know that they just revealed or just released a throwback Buccaneers jersey. Drew, am I not correct on that? They had the creamsicles.
Creamsicle.
Yeah, so the creamsicles are back. Want to go ahead and get that checked out in time for football season. If you are a Buccaneers fan, you want to get yourself some fresh new merch in time for the season, which starts in about a month and a half. It's hard to believe that we're getting that close, but Fanatics is the place to go for officially licensed everything. And now, Drew, as we get ready in the back half of this episode, it's time for, I think, what's going to be the most fun of all. We're going to not just play a little game, we're going to play two games. First is what we're going to do. We're going to draft our own all-star teams, Drew.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
So,
indeed, and just to make it fitting, even though this is not like the WNBA draft or the NBA draft or one of those
mhm.
official drafts where people get their teams for the first time, I'm gonna play this sound just because we're drafting.
Okay.
Let the inaugural, the inaugural All-Star Game draft in here on Lowdown, and our guests will come in with the number one pick. We're gonna alternate picks here. You'll go Kyle, and then me, and then Logan, and then B.
I
And
like
then
it.
back and forth between our two teammates. It'll be Team Lowdown versus Team W Nation.
All right. I
And
like it.
W Nation, you are on the clock with the first pick. And the first pick here, do you want, we'll give you guys the option since you are our guest. Do you want to be Team Wilson or Team Stewart?
Logan, I think
I guess it really just depends on who they pick, Drew.
And they were divided on the winners.
Yeah.
I I think I know my answer. I know my answer.
I
But I want to make sure that I'm good with my cohort here. I'm leaning Team Wilson.
that's fine with me. I could
All right.
not be more split. So
Okay. So our first, are we going first pick Wilson, or are we just saying Wilson and Stewie are opposite, and then we'll
Right,
go?
yeah, we're doing that, and then you start here.
All right. So if we've got Team Wilson, next player off the board, I gotta go with. Jackie Young because I want to have a guard. I want to have a guard that's ready to go with Wilson, and why not take one of her teammates? I don't suspect that we're going to do the same thing and pick all teammates on the same teams, but I think right out the gate, I do want to have Jackie Young on my team.
Okay, that's a good pick. I like that pick. First pick of the draft, Jackie Young. Okay, all right. Well, it's my turn. Let me get this out of the way for us, BJ. I just feel it's only right that we get ourselves a point guard over here. So Chelsea Gray is going to be our first pick over here for
I
Team
like it.
Lowdown.
Yes.
all right, that means it's
All right,
me.
Logan. Yes, sir.
Kyle. We're gonna grab a player who not only is having a great season on a bad team, but is instantly gonna get the crowd on our side. Nobody's gonna be rooting for Team Stewie to prevail. We're gonna take Brittany Griner.
Oh,
Everybody's
Good
gonna be
pick.
in
Bro,
our
we are on the
corner.
same
Dang
wavelength right now.
I have her shirt on. Why did you do that? The power forward
That's
shirt.
big brain. That's big brain. I like that.
That's a huge pick. That is a huge one.
You
Man.
might have recognized this shirt and been like, "Oh, he's got the graphics.
Yeah.
I gotta take this pick." All right,
You know-
BJ, do us right, brother.
I think I will. Trying to think which one do I want more.
Oh man,
Maybe a little bit of a homer pick.
this
I
is
think
his first pick, and he is struggling. We're gonna have a hard time. Over
No,
here.
I think she's gonna have a. I've talked about how much I think she's gonna go off and have a good game.
Oh,
She's my MVP pick for a reason. I'll take
Oh.
Enrique. We'll take
Oh,
Enrique on
wow.
team.
Ooh.
oh man, there's a lot of shooting going on over here.
Mm.
Enrique Ogumbawale on Team Lowdown. Right.
All right, next pick for Team Wilson / WNBA Nation. I gotta go with. I watched these two players in person go head to head, and it was one of the best WNBA games of the entire season. Let's get that South Carolina connection going. Let's get Aaliyah Boston on the team.
Ooh,
I like that pick too.
early pick for the rookie. Okay,
a
Aaliyah
good pick.
Boston out here.
That's a good
All
pick.
right. Well, man, now I gotta navigate through here and see what I want to do here. I've got some struggling going on. I gotta reanalyze here. I was over here griping, and now I gotta reassess. Man, oh man. Well, there's gonna be a lot of shooting, so we gotta have somebody else to also do this passing. It can't just be the point guard. Let's bring over the engine, Alyssa Thomas, to Team Lowdown.
Okay.
All right, Logan.
All right, there's a lot of pressure on this. I feel like we nailed that first one. Let's see. We're pretty big right now. I think I'm going to go guard. I think I was actually even on the same wavelength as Drew, but I thought he was going to take who I'm now going to take.
Oh.
So the All-Star game, you gotta like take some of the move all up the court. We're going to take Vandersloot.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have done it, but I already had Chelsea Gray. I didn't want to double up the
dude.
the point guard.
I'm feeling good right now about this.
We're gonna get them easy buckets. They're not like, and some of it will be flashy, but a lot of it will just be like, hey, look, there's somebody right under the basket unguarded. Get them buckets.
I can't believe I get to make this pick as well, because this is who I was struggling between. We need size. We need Satu. We're going to take Satu Sabali.
Yes,
that was my next
pick. Good pick.
I did know it was dangerous to leave both Dallas players available for.
Yeah. I get.
It's not just because I'm.
That was not on purpose. I swear.
Sabali was my next pick, so I think that's a good one. If we got some youth here, we've got some older talent as well. But at this point, I gotta just go with who I think could absolutely go nuclear in this game. And this was a late pick in regards to when the captains were picking. I gotta pick up Copper. I got to get Kalia Copper.
That is not who I thought you were going. Okay.
Going Kalia Copper.
I'm not unhappy. You know how I feel about Copper. But that's the first time I've been like, we're thinking this. Oh, no.
I think Copper could be the MVP of the whole game, so I want her on my team.
Okay. Well, I like that. Man, we're kind of running out of bigs here. And we're very versatile, but we're not huge.
Yeah.
I guess we just need to stay versatile and have some size, bring in some championship experience, as a matter of fact. Let's bring over Nneka Agumake to Team Lowdown.
I was having a hard time between those two.
That would have been
that's a good pick.
A good one to fall to us, but that's okay. We can bounce back.
Alrighty, Logan.
All right, this is gonna feel boring because I know we don't want teammates to play together on the same team, but I'll take Sabrina's 44% 3-point shooting. She's gonna be my next pick. She's gonna cook in this one, and we've got you can't cheat on defense. We got the bigs. She's gonna have plenty of space. She's gonna have a great game.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next pick.
More likely to get an All-Star game triple-double, Alyssa Thomas or Sabrina Ionescu?
Ooh.
I think Sabrina.
I think so too.
I might go Alyssa.
The engine. Oh yeah. Good split on that one. BJ
in an All-Star game, yeah.
Yeah, in the All-Star game for sure.
Let's get our
I was
sixth pick.
I was really hoping that Sabrina would still be available. That's who I was leaning towards. Now I'm just trying to think. Drew,
I'm off.
Are we wanting?
We got a lot of forwards. We could use a guard. What are you thinking out there?
Guard.
I see something nice. If she's there when I come around, I know where I'm going.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide who I want here. You know, I don't think this is a reach, and I think she's still available. Drew, can you confirm if I put name in the chat if she's available or not for me real quick?
Let's check it out. She is available.
I'm gonna take Alicia Gray then.
All-Star Leash.
All-Star Leash. I thought she was available. I didn't think her name had been called. I just couldn't remember for sure. There were a couple of players I was trying to choose between. I was like, you know what? All-Star Leash.
We're almost an entirely two-way team until you look at our guards.
That's a good pick. That's a really, really solid
Yeah.
pickup.
Go Team Lowdown.
So I'm surprised this player's still available.
Ooh,
I'm
oh
quite
boy.
surprised this player's still
Oh,
available.
no. Are we talking
I
Um,
think I know who it is.
Oh, I
we
know.
we
where
gotta
we're
have a
going.
team.
Oh, no.
We gotta have a player that got that dog in him.
Oh,
We're
that's not what I
taking
thought
we're
was gonna
taking
happen.
Plum. We're taking
Yeah.
Plum.
No, that is what he did.
I knew that's who he was going with.
He
Oh,
threw me off. No.
it feels so good to win the draft. All right. Good pick, Kyle. Good pick.
Dang it.
I was struggling. I couldn't remember if she was there or not.
I knew she wasn't going to get to me, or it would.
Yeah, I thought. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I didn't, I thought I was pretty sure Drew had his eye, and so I was like, if there was another player I was debating on, but I feel like if we don't take Plum, that player I was thinking might be available for Logan, but I don't think Plum was
for
available.
my last pick. I was between Sabrina and Plum, and I was like, I'll take Sabrina. Plum will come around. Kyle will get the job done. Let's go.
Teamwork make the dream work. You did throw me off a little bit, but I'm not without a backup plan.
Good.
I will not be done in because she came in late to the All-Star rosters doesn't mean she's not worthy of being an All-Star again. Ryan Howard, welcome to Team Lowdown.
I really
you were
wanted
reading
Ryan
my
Howard on our
brainwaves right
squad.
there, Drew.
Really wanted Howard.
Yeah.
That's good.
Man. Let's go. That's a good
makes
team.
it tougher.
I love this battle. Got some good teams here.
How many picks apiece do we have left?
I'm telling you, I'm a good GM. I'm not a head coach. I'm a GM. I'm not a head coach. Well, we got 8 and 8.
Okay.
Is it me?
Oh. It was only like. Yes, it do.
The Lynx have crawled back into the playoff mix largely on the back of Nafisha Collier being really, really good.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go ahead and go Collier.
It's not a bad pick.
That's what I was.
That's a great pick.
There are a lot of players right here at this juncture.
Yeah, this is you could go a lot of ways.
Are valid decisions, but I really like what she's done this year on kind of an ignored team because they were so bad at the start of the season. She's averaging like a 21 a game. Like she's in the mix for, like maybe she's someone we could have talked about for All-Star Game MVP. I don't know. Glad to have her on the reserves.
Yeah, I was leaning between her or the player that I'm going to end up taking. And since I think she's still available, I'm going to go with Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever. Welcome to the reserves.
I knew it. I knew it.
Got a couple of first-time All-Stars over here, baby.
We like it.
I knew it. I think I have a personal bias toward this next player. And I also gotta give a shout out to this team that has been way hotter than anybody expected them to be. Well, outside of themselves. We're done with the disrespect, though. We bring in Bonner.
Nice.
We bring in Bonner to Team Wilson.
Once again, I was trying to decide between two, and you ended up taking the other one. So.
Yeah.
The Slim Reaper. Let's go.
I had a personal connection with. We have the same birthday.
Oh man!
You took my twin.
I love Bonner. Love Bonner.
This threw the whole trajectory of my pick off. Oh my gosh, who is left now? This is just one.
You've got a couple. There's a couple injured players
there's two.
whom we love, and then yeah.
Okay, so we're ducking the Jewel Lloyds of the world, who's a little hobbled. Yo, why'd you do that to me, man? I had one way to go here, and I can't go that way anymore. I'm swinging in left field. I'm trying to hit dingers down center, yo. I'm so lost in the world. Who all was left? I forgot. Okay.
You got Ezzy. You got Parker.
Yeah. Looks like I'm missing one.
And then injuries. Let's see who else.
EDD doesn't count because he was replaced already.
Yeah, we already got Howard.
Yep.
So I think that's it. I think
just
it's
those.
I think that's
Ezzy
everybody,
and
yeah.
Parker. Yep.
3 more. Okay. Parker. Let's bring Cheyenne Parker over here. Let's get the first time All-Stars over here on Team Lowdown.
They went straight Atlanta,
Excellent.
and Atlanta is
Excellent.
hot.
No,
Mhm.
I feel
We
okay
got
about that.
all Atlanta Dream players and all Dallas Wing players on this roster.
I like it.
You could do worse than that. You
Yeah.
could do worse than that.
You definitely could. Yeah.
All right,
Let's see.
Logan. Down to the
I'm
nitty-gritty.
so pleased to get to make this pick, and no disrespect to Ezzy, who is healthy and would actually play in the game, but
Mhm.
I really want Jewel Lloyd to play on a winner at least once this year. So in street clothes,
Oh!
Jewel Lloyd, come sit on our bench. Enjoy the festivities from the winner's circle. I'm so thrilled that she gets to be on our team.
I like it.
And whoever ends up replacing her, I guess would count there as well. So
Yeah, we'll take the stand-in for Jewel.
Okay.
The signed jersey in Steve's office is smiling really big. So.
Well, Drew, I guess because I don't really get a choice, but not trying to be offensive, but last pick of the draft is Ezzy of Seattle Storm filling out our roster as well.
Well, there you go, ladies
Yeah.
and gents. There's the draft for you.
Who won?
I'll take a picture of it or make a little both actually here in a little bit when I check back and make sure I don't misspell Magbagor. So I'll wait till that is done before we do
Yes.
any of the posting of that. But there are your all-star teams, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a quick recap for those listening, here's Team W Nation / Wilson. Asia Wilson, of course. Jackie Young, Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Courtney Vandersloot, Kalea Copper, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Plum, Nafisa Collier, and Jewel Lloyd, whoever replaces her.
That
And-
felt good. That felt good.
And Team Lowdown / Team Stewie. Brianna Stewart, of course. The point guard, Chelsea Gray. Former All-Star Game MVP, Enrique Gumbawale. The Engine, Alyssa Thomas. The Unicorn, Satu Sabale. Look at all these nicknames. Neka Agumake. All-Star Leash. Ryan Howard. Kelsey Mitchell. Cheyenne Parker. And Ezzy McBagor. Oh my!
I mean, I don't think
That's a
I'm
good
biased
teaser.
when I say that. Yeah, both these teams are really good, and
I just want both teams to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to
The
have fun.
Satu, when y'all took
They were.
Satu, it hurt. It hurt. I should have known
Physically,
better
yeah.
though. I should have
Yeah.
known better than to leave Satu available. That one cut.
That's a
That
mistake on
that
your
was
part.
tough. Yeah.
Said that's a mistake. Did either one of you have NBA 2K?
Yeah. Yes. I
You
did.
guys want to input these teams and simulate who would actually win?
No.
That's a good.
I
concept.
am
Yeah.
unable to.
I-
currently.
I think I can actually do that. I have it because I have PS Plus, and it was a free
Oh,
download.
nice.
Look at you.
I recently
So-
bought it, but I don't have the storage on my computer. To
Yeah, I
download
haven't downloaded it because I'm old now and I have a job and I don't play video games anymore. No, that's a lie. I play video games all the time. But
Who are you trying to
tell you
impress
what,
here, Logan? Why
you
are
know,
you lying?
Logan and I actually, I don't know if you two know this. Logan and I actually live in the same house.
Hey,
yeah, he's literally like two
Logan,
stories.
yeah,
up.
Logan lives like right below me.
Heck
so,
yeah.
so maybe we'll hit up a sim and send the video out on Twitter or
There
something.
you go. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll
That
hit
would
a
be
sim
fun.
and tweet out a video for it.
heck yeah, that'd
Love
be
to see
fun for
that,
sure.
yeah.
Not by Team Lowdown. Let's go. Great teams here, guys. But BJ, you got something in store for us today?
I do. I mean, if you guys are fans of the show,
Stop
then you
me,
know what we end each episode off with every time, not right?
Mm-hmm,
We play a little game.
Little gamey game.
It's your first experience
The
with a
first
game called With It or Quit It.
With it or quit.
So if you're familiar with that game, I don't have to go over the rules, do I, for anybody? I can go over them just in case if you want me to, but
Not think. Yeah,
All good?
Well, so we're gonna have some of our listeners actually hearing your show maybe for the first time. I hope that we have a lot of crossover, but just in case we get some new listeners, why don't you give them a recap of your
absolutely,
game?
yeah. So With It or Quit It is a pretty simple game. I've got 5 questions here for the gents below me, and they are going to have to tell me whether they are with it in agreement, essentially, or if they are going to quit it because it's trash. It doesn't belong here. I don't know. So maybe not
Strong,
that.
strong,
Maybe not that strong. But
Strong opinions only, Logan.
Yeah,
hot
strong
takes
opinions
only,
only.
right?
This
Hot
entire
takes.
This entire segment is all caps. This is
Hot take segment. Let's go.
All right. So if you gents are ready, we'll play a little with it or quit it. All right. Here we go. We'll start with question number 1. We talked about this last year, Drew. By the way, happy National French Fry Day.
Hey.
It is back upon us. Today is National French Fry Day. And guys, the best place that you can get French fries, fast food wise at least, is McDonald's. Are you with it? Or are you going to quit it?
I'm gonna quit it.
Who's got
Quit
better
it.
French fries then?
I'm a sucker for a good waffle fry. I think Chick-fil-A waffle
okay.
fries
That's a
is
good point.
that's a good. I mean, it's a very different product. Very different product. But if we're going all varieties, I'm gonna take a waffle fry.
Logan?
I'm also going to quit it. The waffle fry is a great call out and actually a much safer way to quit it than what I had in mind. I was going to contest that Wendy's fries are
Okay, that was that was the other borderline.
right on the right day.
Yeah, I like
The right
both
day,
those.
right location. Wendy's fries, they hit.
Yeah, I like both
Wanna-
those. What about crinkle cut? I know Drew is big crinkle cut guy.
Drew, you
I'm a
crinkle
big,
cut?
I'm a big curly fry guy.
Curly fry.
I
Curly
like
fries are
crinkle
good.
cut. I
Like
I
good
can't think of
Jack-
anywhere around here that has it.
I do
Yeah.
love some
Culver's.
crinkle cut too.
Culver's,
so,
yeah.
But I love me a good curly fry. Jack in the Box curly fries, they bust.
Oh, yeah.
Bust down. That's that good
Think-
stuff.
We got to do a head-to-head Arby's versus Jack in the Box curly fry.
Whoa! It's an easy dub for
It's
Jack in the
easy,
Box.
Jack in the
Send
Box.
Arby's home. We don't even talk about Arby's around here.
That's
Banish.
that's
Jack
worse
in the
than
Box, Jack in the Box is hot and cold for me.
It really
Yeah.
is hot and cold.
Yeah.
But
I don't
curly
want
fries-
to leave my co-host on an island here, but I'm out on Arby's.
Yes.
As
All
a
the
whole,
way.
I agree, but
All the way out.
a good Arby curly fry is hard to beat.
That's fair
saying
enough.
Arby's on this show, it might be worse than saying a cuss word. I don't know. that's a Drew
Count
thing.
your
but-
days. Kind of.
All right, guys, number 2 here. A little baseball talk. We'll mix it up every now and again. So, All-Star game passed for baseball, and we got to see some of the best players in the show playing today. Second question, with the best record in Major League Baseball at the All-Star break, the Atlanta Braves are poised and in position to win their second World Series in the last 3 years. Are you with it? You're going to quit it.
Do a baseball question.
I'm gonna go
Baseball
with it.
question.
I'm gonna go with it on the Braves. I think they look so good this year, and so I'm gonna ride with the Braves on this one.
I want to disagree, but I think I'm with it.
Oh man,
Logan.
There's a lot of fun surprises this year. Like the Reds, especially, are the hot team right now.
Yeah.
The Rangers are really good. The Diamondbacks.
There we
are really
go.
good. But
You can
And-
come back.
even though like the record in July isn't the most important thing in the world, and it just matters if you get hot at the right time. It just feels
Yeah.
like the Braves are just so unstoppable right now, and
Yeah.
it's felt that way in the past with past teams at the All-Star break, and then it's completely fallen apart. But they just
Yeah.
have so much more experience than any of those teams I just named in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, my with it take is simply because I couldn't pick another team. Like if I have money and I got to pick who I'm betting on right now,
hmm
I feel safest with the Braves, and so
Yeah.
that's why I got to go with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been talking with a good friend of mine who's a Braves fan, and he and I were talking about like this team right now playing better down than they did down the stretch last year when they went
Yeah.
on that great run, playing better than they did when they won the World Series in 21. So it's really tough
They look
to
very good.
it feels like we're all gonna get obsessed with like Ellie De La Cruz and all these fun stories throughout the year, and then when the
Yeah.
Braves win in October, we're gonna be like, oh
How
yeah,
did that
Oh yeah,
happen?
also
Um,
that.
Ronald Acuna is like 25 years old.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
they've
best-
got all
best-
these young stars
like-
locked into long-term deals like Olsen, Albies, Acuna, and their pitching staff. My goodness, they've got so many weapons. It's hard to believe sometimes. So awesome. All right, Well, number 3. This is more of a personal question. So this is
Okay.
you gotta there might be a little disagreement between the two of you since you've been lockstep here the first two. So you personally, and each of you have a different answer potentially, would rather be 20 minutes early wherever you go as opposed to being 10 minutes behind, 10 minutes late. You with it? You're going to quit it.
I went first last time, so Logan, I'm going to make you go first.
My immediate mental response was like, I would love to be 20 minutes early to everywhere I go. I would love that. Because
all the time
not,
you get.
That's not me. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, 20 minutes early to everything?
Yeah.
That's a
that's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
That's a lot of appreciation time for your surroundings. But I'm still with it. I'd rather being late stresses me out. I'm late constantly. So I would love to just be early.
Understand that.
Man. Logan, at one point we're gonna have to be different. I gotta go with it because I have a beautiful wife who would murder me.
Brag.
If I picked quit it on being early. She's very prompt, and I'm so glad I married someone who's prompt to help me out. She's very prompt, and so because of that, for the sake of my marriage, I gotta go with 20 minutes early.
I love it. All right. This one might also be one that you disagree on, but we'll go with it anyway. So number 4, just a simple yes or no. Are you with it or quit it? Banana bread.
Oh, with it. 100% with it.
That was so quick. I love that. I was thinking it too. Like, hey.
You said
banana bread. Like, it's got to be great, man.
Bro, I love banana. Logan and I eat banana bread regularly in this household.
This is a bread house. We are a house of bread.
You put chocolate chips in it, or just the banana bread by itself with the brown sugar?
I kind of like straight, but no nuts.
No nuts.
Keep your walnuts out of the banana bread. You want to ruin a good thing? Put some nuts in it, man.
Yeah. Pause. Sorry.
I'll differ from Kyle. Finally, I'll eat it with walnuts in it.
All right, there you go. There's
the disagreement.
We're pro banana bread. Logan will eat it with the nuts.
I'm pro banana bread with basically any reasonable ingredient.
Is that 4 with it, or is that 3?
I think it's 3 with it and 1 quit it. I think they quit the first one.
We quit the first one.
Oh yeah, we quit the fries.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
An agreement on anything. Okay.
Last but not least, number 5, best summertime fruit you can have is a peach. With it or quit it?
I thought you were gonna say watermelon, and I was gonna have an easy answer, but you went peach, and now I have a hard, this is a hard answer now.
Gonna make you think here.
I am gonna jump in front of Kyle and quit it because pineapple spears exist, and I love. I was thinking watermelon, and then he said peach, and then I started doing a whole thing, and I landed on pineapple, and I was like, dude, pineapple spears is so good. So that's my contribution.
Okay.
One of my probably my favorite fruit of all time is a nectarine, and peach is just adjacent to that. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm thinking like fresh summertime, man, a good peach, fresh peach. See, we're up north though, so peaches to me is more of a fall.
Gotcha.
Because we're way behind. We got tons of snow and it's cold, right? So before our peaches can actually get on, it's a little. But if peaches are summertime for you, I'm going peaches all the time. I'm with peaches.
Okay, well there we go. We got some disagreement. I was going to say,
I'm gonna walk upstairs and fight with you.
I was going to say, you guys come back down here to this area. We'll take you. There's an orchard just outside the Metroplex, maybe 30 minutes down the road or so. Great peaches. Definitely worth the trip. So.
We as hosts of this show have sat down to eat entire fresh peach pies together. That's been a thing.
I had a good friend that used to have a peach tree in her yard, and then she moved from Utah down to Austin, and I've never felt so betrayed.
We almost had to go buy that house.
Man, can't beat a good peach tree. Peach is delicious.
So that's with it or quit it, guys. Hope you had
Yes.
fun playing.
Ladies and
Oh, yeah.
gentlemen, and that will indeed be the show. We do have a difference in our team numbers here. I don't know how that came about. I don't know if we were missing somebody, but y'all picked first, and
It's
somehow
because of the
replacement player we're
because
waiting
the
on.
replacement player came in, and so let's see.
Let's double
I
check
think
on
we're
this.
good.
Because I swapped Ryan for EDD. There's no
Mhm.
EDD on here. And if
Yep.
there's somebody replacing Jewel, they would take Jewel's spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
So
did the
hold
W
up.
mess up? Are they missing a replacement player somewhere? I
Maybe
don't
maybe
have to
we're
count
missing
on?
one of us. Let's see.
No. 'Cause I tried to get them as we were going. I thought we got everybody.
Young, Griner,
Yeah.
Boston, Vandersloot, Copper, Ionescu, Plum, Collier. Oh, who did I take? It's my last pick. Who did I take? Because you took Collier and Lloyd, right, Logan?
Yeah.
Oh, Bonner.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Joel
DB.
Bonner.
I missed
Ah.
somebody. There we go.
You were
Oh.
too
So-
upset. You were
so
too
that
was-
upset
That's right,
for
yeah.
your birthday, bro.
My bad. You're right. Yeah, I was too busy
I'm
talking
sitting there
about
like,
DB to
who
write
is-
her down. All right.
Oh
Just-
man.
I had
just
to rewrite
wiped-
that and make
it
it
just
beautiful.
wiped the
instead
mental
of this-
slate. It was
This
like,
scribble.
He just refused to give Bonner to us. That's what it was.
That's what it was. There you go. That's
Drew-
what it was.
Drew just saying no.
Like,
Drew
who's
says no.
missing?
No bleeping way.
Nobody.
Oh man, we
Wow.
figured him out. We figured out his plan, guys.
Golly. Well, still Team Lowdown all the way.
I
We'll
think
see what
Team
2K has to say
Team
about it.
Lowdown has an awesome chance in this game at
Yeah, I
being
think
within
so,
like
too.
20 points.
That's such a compliment, Logan. Thank
Of
you.
the All-Star game record, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Lovely.
Oh my
That's great.
goodness.
Well,
Hey, we've had
fellas,
so much fun with you guys. This
We
was
had
a
fun,
blast.
too.
We really appreciate you inviting us on and for bumping your stream time to accommodate us. This was a great time. We
Heck
appreciate it.
yeah, we're glad you
Absolutely,
guys were
yes.
able to make it on, and definitely you get the invitation. Even though you took my Dewana Bonner, you are allowed to come on back for another appearance, and hopefully we can have the entire squad over here and have the whole W Nation here for everybody to take a look at. We'll be a little smaller on the screen, but we'll take a 4-man crew. It's okay. Take the whole gang up in here. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys coming on and look forward to your next appearance. And guys,
What's coming up
Have-
next?
and have fun watching the All-Star festivities, because I won't get to partake in them as much as you guys, because I'll be on the road this weekend. But take it in for me. Pretend I'm
Will
right
do.
beside you, like we were at the
Yeah,
All-Star
like-
game in
like Vegas
2019.
before.
We're just watching Elizabeth Cambage dribble up the court with the ball at the point guard position.
Oh, I
just
forgot
having a
all
good
about
laugh.
that. That's a good memory. That's good. I
The
like
best WWE entrance that the WNBA All-Star game has ever witnessed was Cambage.
that. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Those were good.
indeed.
Oh my goodness.
Well, guys, this has been another episode of The Lowdown. Make sure you guys follow us on social media, and make sure you check out the Lowdown Network and all the episodes continuing to happen that are coming up. The Lowdown CFB on Sunday, Breaking Ball, our new golf podcast, debuts on Monday, and then CFB back on Wednesday, and as well as our college basketball show. So check out all
That's
those
coming
shows on
up
Lowdown
tomorrow, isn't it?
Network. And yes, indeed. And they got pushed to Friday, so their episode this week is tomorrow at 7. And of course, make sure you go check out the WNBA Nation podcast. They go live on Twitch. Well, they will be. They're going to be going live on Twitch again, because they said they were going to go back to Twitch, so we're going to hold them to it. They're going to do the live streams again, but their podcast is still active. Y'all go check them out on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and show them some love as well, ladies and gents. But this has been another episode of the Low Down Sports Show. We will catch you guys next week.